Welcome back to Squelch, the video game book club. I'm Dano.
I'm Matt at Arms.
I am Electric Sheep City.
And I'm Storm Rage, and we're here to remind everyone that Dragon Age 2 is a game, and the games are supposed to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
This week, we're covering the quests, finding home, calling on the captain, a bunch of like small companion quests, like literally like stopping by to your friend's house and going, "Hey, how you doing?" And your friend's like,
many.
"I'm good."
There's a
like,
lot of them.
Cool. I'm glad you're doing good. All right. I'll see you later when we fight evil. Okay, bye. Prime Suspect, Inside Job, Cave Crawling, Cavern of the Dead, and I think maybe my new favorite quest in the game, Pick Up Pickaxes. This was a quest that definitely needed to be a quest. So much thought goes into it, so much work.
I think all of these last three quests that we talk about are really well designed and really showcase the many layers of Dragon Age and world building and story building. I think they're all really top tier and things I've never done before in video games.
I love the first two quests of this 3-quest arc, actually. I think they're super duper fun. I think they're just a ton of fun. Like, I think we can talk about it when we get there, but I really love the first two quests. That third one, I think you have too much gold.
Yeah, and it's right, I do.
Next week, we are going to play the Blackpowder Courtesy, which is a main quest. Dissent, Mirror Image, Back from Sundermount, an Update, Family Matter, and The Long Road. I believe those are all companion quests, maybe that last one. And then we're playing the Offered and Lost main quest, as well as the Legacy DLC. So this might be a longer week. So you'll probably want to jump into this one a little bit earlier because the Legacy DLC can take about 4 hours. And we do have 2 main quests in there as well. So we're probably looking at like 6-7 hours this week, pretty easy. So this will probably be one of the longer ones. So
I think it is very funny that we have organized this because we'll get to very shortly. This week we open up with getting a quest. And it's the very first quest, and it's go to talk to the Arishok. We didn't do that. The only quest that we were given at the top of the act is the only quest we did not do this week.
Dude can wait. Dude can wait. We have friends to talk to.
So.
It's been 3 years since we've talked with some of them.
Yeah.
Like, we had to catch up with friends.
Is the Act 2 break 3 years?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, it's 3 years. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's great, right?
Just wait till you hear about Act 3 break.
It's all about Act 3. And we have to let all of our we have to let all of our friends know that we will be there for them.
Well, it's important for them to know that.
Right? Yeah.
Just as a reminder, we are using the guide written by No Zero. Thanks, No Zero, by the way. If you are listening, cool.
Right.
The link is in the podcast description along with the list of quests we're playing each week. The link to the guide and the Google Doc where we do our weekly plan are both available in the podcast description of each episode. We are getting to the point here where I need to finish the planning for the last few weeks of the game, and we are kind of getting there. We are winding down, if you can believe it. So I think we have 4 weeks left, I think is the plan. So, I mean, not a lot, 3-4 weeks, something like that. So I don't know, kind of fun. But yeah, so all that's available if you want it. I think it's been super duper helpful as far as like keeping us on track, because there is 0% chance we'd be able to talk about this game without this guide, because it is. There are just like
there's so much that goes on.
Man, Dan, what you need to do? Can I make a suggestion? Can you put like little check boxes in the notes of what we need to do each week? So like when I copy it to a notepad or something, I can just click it off. Or like whatever.
Well, I could create a OneNote notebook if you would like that. I don't know.
I'm just using my own OneNote and doing it myself. I'm just saving myself. I'm saving myself 3 clicks. Really, it's all I'm asking.
I am linking to every single quest in the guide.
I know, and it's
so.
And thank you.
Do appreciate
thank
that
you
you
so
wanted
much.
More.
Seriously, no, that is amazing, and thank you. Oh God.
Should I play the game for you as well, Matt? I mean. Well,
no,
I think that's probably a good idea.
No.
I would like for you to play the game for me because that would actually help a lot.
It's just stupid EA. I hate them so much. Now, if they could sell like fake cards that you had to play the game, like if you had to like buy a version of Hawk, like, you know, when you got to play Hawk 5 times, like, you know, they do in like Madden or FIFA.
Yeah.
Then they'd updated all they needed to. But because you get to just buy the game once and play it, they don't bother keeping anything up to date.
I mean, wasn't that the plan for Valguard before they scrapped it and made another game?
It sure was. It's why they scrapped it. And why it's such a messy game was because they're like, this needs to be an MMO. That's what this single player game needs to be, is an MMO. Cool. Thanks.
That sounds right.
Love that. It's such a great idea. And then you can just
yeah. Why make good companion quests when your companion pass is to be hanging out with the people you hang out with online?
It's so frustrating. That's what they did with Elder Scrolls and Fallout. And then that's why we don't get any games from Elder Scrolls or Fallout, because like you have forever games that you can play. Why would you want to play a single player game? Because they're single player games. Just like as good as ESO is, it's not like an Elder Scrolls game. I don't know. I'm not going to get off that rant. Let's go thank some patrons.
Thanks. I am pretty incredible.
Hey, patrons, Twitch subs. Yeah, my bad. Sorry about that, Storm Reg. That's on me. I'm really sorry.
Reg?
Storm Reg?
Reg?
We're doing the thing where we make that bigger. Oh, that's great. Love that.
Every time you miss it, I'm making it bigger until you don't miss it.
There's nothing.
It's gonna get pretty big.
I'm not sure if there is a more squelch goof than a show notes goof that only the 4 of us get to see. I think that is a peak podcast, and I'm sure everyone is here for it.
Can confirm.
Thank you, patrons and Twitch subs. You are way better than EA. So much better than EA. It's not even close. Not even close. Your support keeps this podcast ticking, while EA's support doesn't exist. So thank you very, very much, patrons and Twitch subs. And I think that should be part of the thank you from now. Your podcast keeps it. Oh, thank you so much. Anyways, let's go on to the lore.
This one's a real page turner.
All right, quick rundown of our cast of characters. So we have Hawk. Hawk is us. We are the protagonists. Then we have Bethany Hawk, our sister, a twin and a mage. And then Carver Hawk, our brother and a mage. Only one of them is alive in most of our playthroughs. And in one of our playthroughs, they're both dead. And that one is mine, because I'm bad at this video game. Dog is our dog. Don't forget to summon him. He's very useful. Aveline Valen, she is a human warrior. She is the captain of the guard, and she is a sword and board warrior, kind of a tanky one. Leandra Amel, she's our mom, and not at all really in Act 2 up to this point. Varric is a dwarf rogue with a crossbow named Bianca. He's also an author, and he's amazing. Anders is a human mage from Dragon Age Awakening. He is a warden who doesn't want to be a warden. He's kind of cranky about everything. He also has a spirit from the Fade who lives inside of him. So that seems hard. Fenris has magic tattoos, and he is sad all the time. In his defense, he was a slave. So, I mean, I can't really be mad about that, but... Isabela is the best pirate around. She is a ton of fun. She is a dual-wielding rogue. Meryl is a Dalish elf blood mage who is also fantastic. And then, am I forgetting anyone? Or is that everyone?
That's everyone so
no,
far.
Sebastian. We forgot about Sebastian. Sebastian.
Yeah, we need Sebastian this week, right?
Yeah. And then,
he isn't in the party yet.
But he's not. But we have met him. So I feel like, okay, next week we'll talk about Sebastian. I want to talk about tactics, difficulty, and preferred party again. Stormreach doesn't want to. I don't care. So It's not a democracy. All right. So I had to
It's Democracy Manifest.
I had to respec my hawk. How is the game going for the two of you who get to play the game right now, as far as difficulty and tactics and that kind of stuff? Storm Rage and Matt.
My favorite thing is you're asking the two of you that could play that game. And for those of you listening at home that aren't in our Discord, I bet you probably couldn't guess who it is.
Oh, they couldn't, but like by process of elimination, they'll figure it out after Matt talks and then Storm Rage talks. They will then
That's a good
learn
point.
that Sheep cannot play the game because EA is a terrible, terrible company that does not care about its customers. So
Yeah. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm enjoying just rolling with it. I'm a mage. My hawk's a mage, doing magey things, doing Bernie and Icy, and dabbling around with that second aspect. I haven't figured out which one I want to do yet.
So what are the
I have
aspects?
Anders
What's
as
your main aspect? What do you so?
Right now, I'm running Force, which I'm not sure I'm enjoying it. It's really good for like crowd control stuff, but not really good for damage.
Okay.
I did run Spirit, and I kind of enjoyed that. I felt really really tanky. It was kind of fun, and also my attack started getting really fast, which was super cool. Yes.
Matt, I have a question because you just said, and I quote, "I'm not sure if I'm loving Force Mage." But I did take a look further down the show notes, and you do have the sentence, "I'm loving Force Mage."
I am
later
loving
on
Force
down
Mage.
on the show notes.
I actually am loving Force Mage, but like the party comp I went in with, like I literally just logged off the game. The party comp I'm with it isn't really good with Force Mage, so I need to rework the party comp. Because, but I am loving
You can
Force
be a
Mage.
Jedi.
I mean, yeah. Basically, I just pocket group mobs in groups, and I just rain fire on them. It's amazing.
So you're basically running elemental stuff then, from the elemental tree?
Elemental force. Yeah.
And then are you running any heals or anything on your mage, or are you keeping Anders in your party? Or
Anders is my healer. Gotcha. Anders is my healer. He's running my heal, and then I'm running Varric constantly because Varric rules. Varric's my best friend. And then it's either Fenris because he's my love interest, and he's my rival. It's fun.
Is he still sad?
Nice.
He's still sad and very angry, especially after this week.
Rivals to lovers, classic trope. Classic.
Right, and then I really don't have like another like frontline. I have Aveline as a frontline tank as well, but like she doesn't do enough damage. So yeah, that's what I'm running right now, and I'm it's like that's my go-to comp, and I'm loving it.
So your go-to comp
I just
right
need to
now
find a
is...
way to squeeze out more damage from me, I think.
So Hawk, Anders, Aveline, and
Fenris. Or Varric. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. How about you, Storm Rage?
I have two people that are in my comp all the time. Myself and Isabela, my ride or die and my love interest. And then I swap between literally everybody else. If I have a tank, it'll either be Fenris or Aveline. Sometimes I have a healer. Sometimes I bring Meryl. If I want to win fights and not die a bunch, I'll just bring Anders and Aveline and be fine and just like cruise through things. If I want a little bit more spice in my meatball, then sometimes I go, all rogues. There have been a few games where it's just me, Isabela, Varric, and then I'll usually bring in Fenris, who's close to... there was one where I had myself, Isabela, Varric, and Sebastian. That was bad. Don't do that, comp. It is not good. But I'm just kind of on normal difficulty now, and now I think the introductory items that we get have really scaled down. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot more instances of difficulty, even on normal difficulty. And I'm at about the place that I'd want to be for this. I've cruised through a couple fights, but most of the time, I'm pretty set. For my Hawk right now, I'm doing a Shadow Marksman build. So I have this volley of arrows, I do a lot of damage to bosses, and I can also disappear from melee combat to run away and get to range again, and then my shadow can be a tank, which is nice when you're oops all rogues and you need a tank. Why not have a shadow be a tank?
That's really funny. Oops, all
You also have
rogues.
dog. You also have dog. Dog can tank.
I always forget about dog, and I shouldn't.
Dog is great.
Sheep,
I
I'm so
wonder
sorry. I'm so sorry I
so
forget about dog.
what you could do is set a tactic up and have it be the top tactic to just summon dog for any. And then whenever you transfer to another character, your hawk will just summon dog for you.
That's so smart, Dano.
That should work. I'm not sure. But it should.
It should. Yeah.
I'm not sure why it wouldn't.
Sheep, what's your favorite preferred party?
I mean, Isabela is incredible, so I'm totally on board with that. Party comp, I'm not really sure because it's been about 2 weeks since I've been able to play.
Thanks, EA.
But thanks, EA. But Isabela, the pirate, I always love like seeing her in the Let's Plays that I've been watching. Probably like, I mean, Aveline is also pretty much always in most of the LPs that I'm watching too.
Oh, they're all
She's
rolling
legit.
with Aveline. They just have her running for tank, I assume.
I would
Well,
imagine so.
I lost Carver, who was my off tank for a while.
Carver is a Templar for you, right?
Yeah.
From the Templars. Cool. Yeah, so I had to respec my hawk completely because I'm basically two-hand tanking. And the build I had around levels probably 12 through 14 was just like not cutting it. Like it was just way too squishy. And so like Hawk was constantly like crashing. This is on hard difficulty. And I would get through the trash fairly easily. But then anytime I ran into any sort of like boss mage, I was just get absolutely wrecked. Because just could not bring them down fast enough. And then also just got absolutely destroyed by their AoE attacks. There were like 2 or 3 boss like mages in a row, I felt like this week, where they all had like one variety of like, this is a blood AoE, this is the frost AoE, this is the something else. And they did the telegraphs not good enough because you wouldn't even realize it's happening because like you'll be faced away from it and then they'll be like, and the mages in the elite mages are pretty frustrating in this game because they have a shield, they're always chugging potions, and then like they're like bouncing around the battlefield with this teleport that they have. Nobody else gets a teleport. They get a teleport. It's great.
I want to teleport.
It's like I feel like if they get to have potions because I have a potion, I should get a teleport because they have a teleport. I'm just saying it should be fair.
Mm-hmm.
As well as that crazy shield they get, and then also like if I interrupt their spell casting, there needs to be like, or if I run a silence or something like that. If I cast a spell that has a 30-second cooldown, they should not get to then immediately recast the spell. That is super frustrating because there are certain spells that you can cast that like will interrupt their spell casting. So you'll interrupt their spell casting and they'll be like, oh, I'm back. And you're like, oh, this is so frustrating. So I had a couple things where like the mages kept on getting me. So I respect, and I actually spec'd into the Templar tree, which has been a ton of fun. And I figure if like you could have blood mages that aren't evil, then I could be a Templar that's not evil. Like, right? So I'm just addicted to Delirium. No big deal. I'm not actually a Templar. I'm just using Templar powers. So, yeah, that's kind of my headcanon there, is that I got a little bit of the addicted to Delirium like the Templars did. And now I have cool anti-mage powers, which have been a ton of fun. Like every guide says, don't use Templar, it's terrible. And then I'm like, I'm going to do it anyways. And it's been a ton of fun. So I went a little bit more into like the tanking tree, and then a little bit less into like the two-handed tree, and then more on the Templar tree. And that has been fantastic. And then also I reached level 15, and the level 15 DLC armor is insane. That also helped a bit. Like, it went from like 120 armor to like 320 armor. It was like, oh, that's good.
It is pretty good.
But I did respect before that. Respect on level 13 or 14. And it did help quite a bit. I'm pretty fluid with my party comps. I usually run one warrior, one rogue, two mages is usually what I go with. So Anders and Meryl are usually in the party, but not always. And then Varric or Meryl, who I'll switch out. So if I switched out to like Isabela or Sebastian, I usually take out Varric. I did run a little bit with two rogues, and I just found it wasn't good enough for however I was playing. And so I preferred having the two mages, especially like because Anders with haste is really good. Like when Anders just casting haste all the time, it's like, thank you very much. And
Haste is just insane. It's just a crazy ability.
Yeah. And so between that and then now that Meryl is like pretty deep into her blood magic and her constitution is high enough, Meryl is also pretty crazy good. So those two are super powerful. So I'm running them almost all the time and then changing out my rogue. Sebastian was pretty unimpressive, to be honest, compared to both Varric and Meryl. And so I don't really run him very often. But like if I think it'll be a quest that makes sense to have him in the party, I'll bring him. But yeah, that's kind of how I've been doing it. It's been a ton of fun. The game has had some difficulty spikes, though. I did drop the difficulty down a couple times before I respec from like hard to normal. Before just to get through some of the boss fights with the mages, I couldn't do otherwise. And it's crazy the difficulty level from like it would be like this crazy difficult fight where I just can't get through to just like smoking it in 10 seconds. And it's like that is too much. There should be a middle ground, I feel, in there, but yeah. And I feel like we don't mention it in any of the goods. So I mean maybe it'll be like the eternal best good when we end the game. But Varric is Hawk's in-game best friend, and also just the best friend you have in game. Like they wrote Varric so well. Like he is just your best friend. Like it's not something you have to force.
He's also the narrator, so he's making you look good.
He is. All right, let's head over to the recap.
Let's just see what happens. We have a long year ahead of us.
Stormrage, tell us about finding home.
3 years later, you are at you wake up and you're in a meeting and you meet somebody who's like, hey, go do a quest. And we ignore him. And instead we go home and we have a new house that's really fancy and schmancy and clearly costs a lot of money. We get the rest of the money from Bodan, and apparently him and his son are... It feels weird, but like your unpaid employees paying off a life debt. Some might call that slavery. And
to be fair to Hawk, she says, home, I never asked for you to be my servant. Like she...
Yeah.
Well, depending on your response, you can say that, hey, yeah, you owe me, so yes, keep working for me.
That's fair.
When you make it back to your house, you can have an encounter if you took out the loan at the end of Act 1 in order to get to the Deep Roads. If so, I assume bad things happen. I'm a good boy who paid my debts on time, so I didn't have to worry about this. Matt, did you have to worry about this?
No, I did not.
Okay. Then Aveline comes by, and Aveline is like, hey, can you take a look at something for me? And you're like, yeah, of course, because that's what people do. People ask me to do things, and then I do them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's finding home.
All right, so then we do calling on the captain, which is what Aveline wanted. Matt, tell us about calling on the captain.
Yeah, you go into Aveline's office, and you're just like, hey, how's it going? She's like, it's pretty great. Kind of like being the captain of the guard. It's I kind of love doing this. This is great. If I need anything, can I call on you? And like, yeah, absolutely. We're bros.
For sure.
We're buds. We can do anything. We can do it. And then you leave, and the quest is over.
This one was lost. Like, well, that was a quest.
Yeah.
I'll be there for you.
Basically, it's just like, yeah, it's just, yeah. How about speak with Fenris? Is this much different?
This one is, so I had speak to Fenris, and in this quest, you speak to Fenris. So you go to Fenris's mansion, which is his old master's mansion. He's still living in, and still hasn't cleaned up. Like, Fenris, I get it, but like you could clean it up. You could just like you are living there, so you could clean it a little bit if you want to.
Come on, guys.
He chooses not to. So we chat with Fenris, and we're like, hey, so how are things? And he's like, yeah, my master, it's been 3 years. He hasn't come looking for me. And we're like, that's pretty cool, right? Maybe he stopped. And he's like, no, he probably hasn't. And we're like, oh, okay. So what do you want to do? Like, he's like, I want to kill him. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then if you want, you can start romancing him here.
I did. And it's basically like, so what does your future look like? He's like, killing my master. I'm like, oh, okay.
Hot.
We can work that out. Yeah. Sure thing.
I can dig it.
Yeah, I like your hair.
Yeah, it's actually a little bit longer than that, and because you do kind of like you do walk through quite a bit of things, but it is just basically like, why are you still living here? You could just go live somewhere else with people. And he's like, no. He's kind of a sad boy, which I get. So yeah, that was catching up with Fenris, which is nice. It's nice catching up with Fenris, seeing how he's doing.
It's super cute. Like, when actually it's kind of nice when, like, if you're a mage and you flirt with him, he's like, you realize I'm a mage, right? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. I can deal with that.
It's funny because he can't at any other
Good
time.
for him.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other time you show the slightest inclination towards mages, he's like, have you forgotten mages can become abominations? And you're like, but I'm a mage and I would like to smooch. And he's like, well, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as smooching is involved, we're good.
I mean, that's a very relatable issue.
It
get
is.
it.
Yeah, it can be, yes. So I got Bitter Pill, which is the next quest on our list, right?
yeah, tell us about a bitter pill, Matt.
So if you take Fenris out of town, you know, like on a murder date, like you do, you get ambushed by some slavers, and you tell them, like, hey, this dude, he's not a slave, he's my boyfriend, and then like they jump you, and then you kill them, and then you follow them to their cave, where there's this lady slaver who you murder along with all the other slavers in there, which is as you do good in the world, murdering a bunch of slavers. And he talks, and the lady slave says, hey, I know about your sister. She's over here. You should go find her. And then he murders her, and then he storms off. He gets like super upset. He's like angry about things because, you know, his sister. Then he actually leaves the party for a bit until you go back home, and he's like hanging out. And he's like, sorry, I stormed off. I was just looking for my sister. And I don't know what's happened.
So if you follow the dialogue tree down, you can learn that his sister is not a slave and actually a servant.
Yeah.
Which, like, you're like, that's kind of okay, though, right? And
yeah.
So he's not necessarily, he's just more worried about it being used against it, her being used against him. Seems to be what he's most concerned about, not necessarily that she either A, exists, or B, that she's not a slave. He's worried that, like, they're going to try to, like, hold her over his head, and so we have to, like, murder hobo them all.
Yeah, there's also a cute little scene in here where they, like, you walk in on this girl who's like about to get murdered, I think, by a bunch of slavers, and then you murder all the slavers, and you talk to her, and she's like, "Don't kill mistress, she'll get mad." I'm like, okay, and then like
I don't think that one's cute, Matt. That's not a cute scene. That was
a little weird. It got cute when I was like, well, you can go to my house and hang out and, you know, work for me. And it's like, and
so
Fenris
you
like,
recruited a slave to be a slave in your house?
Work for
no.
No.
I was like, you can go work at my. You can be at my house
when I got this slave.
No. Then Fenris like, oh, you're recruiting slaves now. I'm like, no, I'll pay her.
Yeah, it's fun. Child labor laws be darned.
It's
paying the child.
In Matt's defense, Fenris is cranky about everything here, but Matt, I feel like you chose the worst option because you could have given her a bunch of gold and sent her on her way. That's what I did.
I mean, I could have, but also like, you know, putting her out in the streets, that's also a good idea.
So you loved being a slave. Do you want to come be a slave again? You seem so
I'll pay
happy
you.
about it because she is very enthused about being a slave in this scene, by the way.
Yeah.
And which Fenris
Yeah.
does explain, like, when you don't know anything else, which I feel like then Hawk pushes back as, like, slaves revolt all the time and it's awful. And he's like, yeah, but I didn't know any better. Fenris is kind of a doofus.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, it's so cute. There was a slave who loved being a slave. I said, come be a slave.
I'm giving her a living wage. I'm
I'm so sorry. Can you just remind me, giving her a living wage for what age group?
Fair.
Because the thing about children is they shouldn't need a living wage.
I mean,
They
but
should
her
just be able
parents
to
were
be
murdered.
Children.
Her parents were murdered in front of her. Come on, give her a break. You know,
I love
putting her out in the street. Does not seem like a good idea.
So you think making
Give
her
her
like
this
clean up the
many
chamber pot
gold.
is like?
I mean, somebody needs to, and clean up after Sandal and the dog.
That dog is always chewing on stuff. I do love clicking on it. It's like, oh, that dog
Yeah.
chewed in the rug again. That's just mad. So I have the quest Consoling Words, and so this is a chat you have with Meryl in her house, and she's kind of like sad. Or not sad.
Yep.
It's not really anything to it. So this used to be something. So there was a quest here, like you would go and if you brought Bethany or Carver died in the Deep Roads, then there was a second quest that happened where like there was a cut scene where she talked about like, the death. But now it's not, and so you just have a little chats. Or you don't. It's really nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, are you okay? Your brother joined the thing, the Templars.
Templars.
You're like, yeah, kinda, maybe, not really. She's like, yeah, it kind of sucks. Oh well.
I don't
End of
think
the
I
quest.
had this one because I brought
no,
Hawk along. Or Carver
yeah.
along. Not Carver. Bethany. I brought Bethany along.
Oh,
I had it twice because I did it before and after I resaved Bethany.
I love that you
And-
were like. I love that you had like.
We haven't gotten to it. Okay.
Okay.
Let me very briefly go into what I've done this week because last week I talked about how I saved Bethany by bringing her on the deep roads, but Anders came with so they could make her a Grey Warden because I misunderstood when I read the Wikipedia that if you don't take her, she goes to the gallows, but that just means the circle, not like dying. So I was like, well, this is the only way that she could survive. It'll be fine. And then she sent me a really sad letter, and I went, nope. And then I reloaded. I did 5 more hours of work so I didn't get the sad letter.
I love that I thought like this is perfect. We all accidentally got all 3 different options for our sibling. And Stormbridge is like, oh, sad digital letter. I need to go and spend
It was
5
too
hours of my
sad.
life.
She said, I hate my life, but I'm surviving. That's what you wanted, isn't it? Me to survive. Nothing else mattered. And I was like, nope, that's not, nope, oh, no, thank you.
I mean, it's better than the alternative, which what I had to do. I mean, I had to Aveline's husband her. Like, it was not good.
Well, Dano, nothing's holding you back from going back 10 hours and doing it all again.
yeah.
I like that. I honestly do like it though, because I know, like, I know what happens. So I do enjoy that. I like that I made a choice and I'm sticking with the choice. So it's not an ideal choice. It is a sad choice and it is brought up in the game. And I do like that, like, Hawk made a decision and paid for the consequences. And I think that's a really cool moment in the game. And I do really like that.
Too. And if I ever planned on playing this game again, I would have stuck with my original choice, but I realistically know I'm not coming back to this. EA has given me too many difficulties with playing this game for me to want to come back to it. So I was like, I'm going to do the ideal road this time.
And that's the bummer, is it is a game that will be fun to replay, but like it's so hard to replay because EA refuses to support, like, not support the game. They refuse to make it playable.
Yeah.
And so that's the bummer because like the different like specialties are interesting and different. Like the different classes play much differently in how you like party comp. This is a replayable game that you can't really replay because EA just chooses not to. They choose to make it not playable, which is cool.
Yep.
I love that for them. So cool. I've lost track of where we are. Plans for the future?
It's plans for the future.
Yep. So you go into the Hangman. You go back to, Varric's little.
So the Hanged
hangout
Man
spot.
is a bar in town where
Yeah.
where Varric and Isabela live, essentially.
A lot of places named in this town after executing people.
I mean-
very few places are for executing people, but a lot of places are for killing people, and those are two very different things in this game.
Yeah. So yeah, you just go back there and he's like, so now that you did the thing, now what are you planning on doing here? Like, what are your big plans? He's like, and I'm basically like, I just want to take care of my family. And then he's like, that's honorable, and and then you can make a joke with him, and he becomes even more friendly, and it's great.
I have maxed out
And there's
friendly with Varric already.
Same. Though my favorite part of this entire scene was like there was an NPC just hanging out in the background. He's like, does it feel like you're in a story that somebody's telling somebody else? And don't you wish the person telling the story described you a lot more handsome than you actually are? It's just like just NPC dialogue going on, and I just found that amazing, and I loved it.
Isabela's ongoing search is another companion quest where we catch up with Isabela, Stormrage. Anything we need to talk about there?
You talk to Isabela. Isabela's like, I think I found the thing I'm looking for. And you're like, what's this thing? And she's like, I can't tell you yet. And you're like, didn't you already think you found the thing? And she's like, yes. And you're like, well, are you sure you found the thing? And she's like, yes. Well, you were pretty sure last time, right? Yes. So we probably haven't found the thing yet, right? End of conversation.
Do any of you remember that she's looking for a thing?
I think that might have happened oh yeah, she was looking for like something like to get her ship back, right?
Did not remember that
She's
she
just
was
looking for a thing.
She's looking for a MacGuffin.
Yeah, she's just
I mean,
looking
that's
for
that's
a
what
MacGuffin.
pirates typically do, right? Like
Yeah.
they look for things.
I
Treasure.
don't even think it's a good MacGuffin because
whatever.
you could talk to her later about it, and she's just like, it's just worth a lot of money. And it's like, oh,
See,
all right.
pirate.
I do
Yeah,
like that
it's a pirate thing
she's
to do.
pretty straightforward with what's going on. Isabela's like, money.
I like money, boats, and wenches. Any order is fine.
Yeah.
There is
Any gender is fine.
Yeah.
there is
Relatable.
Isabela says, I like big boats and I cannot lie at one point in this week.
Yes.
And I laughed.
I lost it.
I laughed
Yeah.
like audibly.
was good.
It was very funny. It was very, very good. Matt, you visited Anders, and how's he doing? Is he sad?
This is also, Anders was also a little bit super sad because I visited him after I did the Night Terrors quest. So he's like, I feel like I'm, losing control over justice here. And a bit sad about that. And also like the Templars kind of tossed the place. And so, they're trying to take over, I'm not doing so good, he says. And I'm like, yeah, it stinks. I chose not to romance him here because I'm full on my emo sad boy.
So you did Night Terrors before you visited Anders. So did you brought Anders on the Night Terrors quest?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna talk about that in about 2 minutes here. So
Yep.
put a pin in that, and it will make more sense.
Yes.
All right. So I
also
go ahead.
did Varric after I did that too, which is also super super weird.
So I had the Repentance, which is a DLC quest. This is where we pick up our new companion, Sebastian. We talked about Sebastian last week. We're like, when do we actually get Sebastian? This is when we get Sebastian. We get Sebastian in Act 2. So last time in Dragon Age 2 DLC Sebastian, we had to go kill some like assassins who assassinated his family for him. He put like a little notice board up on the chantry hall, and we were like, yep, we'll go take care of that for you. So we go, and there's like 3 different places around town where we have to go take care of some bad guys. And we go take care of the bad guys, and we go and we say, hey, Sebastian, we hit the bad guy. He's like, great, I can't believe you did that. And so then 3 years passes by, and we go and we happen to go in the chantry, and he's talking to the mother superior lady there. I can't remember what they're called. And he's like, so I thought that it'd be over after Hawk killed the assassins, but it turns out that this family that was like great family friends of ours were behind it. And then, oh, Hawk, here you are. What a crazy coinkydink that you happen to walk in this conversation right now. He's like, hey, can you come with me to check out this family, this family that is like super best friends with like my family growing up. I think they're behind it, which is like not great. So I want to go check it out. I'm like, sure, cool. We'll go roll into some rich dude's house. So we roll into some rich people's house, and it is a weird little place. So we walk in, and the door is unlocked, and Sebastian's like, oh, that's weird. The door is never unlocked. It's like, okay, dude, how often have you been here? So we walk in, and there's basically no servants, so the lights are off. It's a little strange. And then we run into the different family members as we go. So the first family member we run into is the daughter, and she is in the wine cellar, and she is talking to herself about needing more booze. And like, you can't really interact with her. She's like, I need booze. I need more drink. I need to drink more. And Sebastian's like, that's weird. She never drank. And then we get upstairs and we find the son, the brother. These are both adult children. Let's say they're probably in their early 20s, something like that. And he has a slave, and he is like, the gold must be molten. It must be molten so that I can dump it on you, and then you'll be a golden statue. And then we can he's trying to get one slave to do this to another slave, and we can knock the one slave out. And then he's like, wait a minute. Maybe I should be the one who's golden. And then we can't interact with him, and we keep on moving on. And this whole time, are we attacked by demons at all yet? Not yet, right? Right now, we're just kind of moving through the house.
Yeah, it's a while before you get attacked.
Yeah. And throughout the house, we run into different letters that was written to and from the family about, you kind of seen different. This is there was some weird stuff going on. It was diaries from the daughter. The diary was like, oh, mother is doing this, or mother is doing that, and this happened to father. And so you're kind of picking up on these different diary entries that some stuff went down. And then eventually we walk into the father, and the father has an elf with him. And I'm not really going to say more because this is a family-friendly podcast, but you can assume what was going on. And the elf will eventually run away. And then Sebastian will be like, he was such a pious man. I don't understand.
Such a prude. He was the biggest prude you ever knew.
Yes. So we kind of picking up that they're kind of the opposite of what they were, or they were repressing certain things, and then now those things are coming out. So eventually we kind of make our way into the keep, the castle, the building, whatever it is. It's a big manor. It's a manor. You get in the manor, and they're digging new tunnels. They were expanding the manor. And when they were expanding the manor, they found something that they shouldn't have been uncovered. And it turns out the mom was a mage. She found a demon, and the demon was like, I can give you whatever you want. I know that you want to be in charge of Starkhaven. Is that what it's called? Starkhaven? Sebastian's Kingdom.
It's a name.
Sebastian's city-state. You want to be in charge of Sebastian's city-state. And she's like, yeah, I do. And so all of this was actually this demon that was doing this stuff. And so we can fight the demon, fight the mom, take care of business. At one point, the family walks down, and they're like, it's all weird and creepy. And then we take care of business. Murder hobo the mom and the demon, and then the daughter's like, I'm so sorry this happened. This isn't us. This isn't I'm so sorry that mother didn't. She thought she was safe because magic didn't run in our family, and so she assumed too much. And then we took care of the family for Sebastian. Now Sebastian's one of our pals and can go on fun little missions with us. Did I forget anything there?
Nope.
I think so. Did I? Okay, cool. It was kind of a long one. I was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Because it's a DLC, so it's a lot more to this quest than you would think there is. It's fairly substantial. So, but yeah, it was a fun one. This one's a ton of fun, though. I loved this quest. Storm Rage, tell us about
I love
Night
this
Terrors.
quest. Yes.
Night Terrors, I think, was my favorite quest this week. So it starts off, there's a half-elf boy that we saved in Act 1 from a variety of slavers, and he has gone into a coma. And we meet with the keeper as well as the boy's mother, and they're like, all right, we can send you in, and you can wake him up. And the keeper is like, hey, you should probably kill him, because he's not going to wake up. And if he doesn't wake up by you, then a demon's going to possess his body and probably kill everybody in here. So probably just kill him. And you can be like, no, never. Or like, all right, fair enough. And we are tasked to choose our companions, and our companions are like, we won't be tempted by demons. We go into the Fade, and immediately our companions are tempted by demons, and they betray us. So on the final fight, we are left with 2 companions, and during this time, we talk to each of these demons, and they try to offer something for us. The first demon tries to offer us basically whatever we want in exchange for letting him keep the boy. The second demon offers one of our party members whatever they want in exchange for turning on us. They do. The third one does the same. And then we come back. We make it back to the boy. And the boy, depending on your choices, will either be like, I can never leave the Fade. Kill me. Or they can say, I think I can get out of here. You've given me the confidence to leave. I can do this, and you can let him go. And then he'll say, but I can't stay here. I have to go to the Teventer Imperium, the only place where they train people like this, and I want to be trained so I don't end up like a demon.
Yeah. Matt, you had a question?
No, so I let him go. Did I make a mistake? Is he going to come back and bite me in the bottom?
I don't think that's one of those. This is one of those situations. I think this is one of those situations where, like, if he does return, it's like a, hey, you did me a solid type of situation. I don't think it's a,
Gotcha.
even though it's going to the Teventer Imperium where they're like, as far as we know, they're all evil.
Yeah.
You know, that's not actually the case, but in this game, it sure seems that way right now up to this point. So it seems like it is. So I brought Meryl and Isabela with me, and which was a ton of fun because with Meryl and Isabela, you get like massive like friendship points by being snarky with them when they're getting like turned to evil. And that was just complete by accident. They happened to be the group I brought because I initially had Meryl, Anders, and Varric with me because Varric was like, because that's my party comp. Generally, that's where I start. And Anders was like, I don't think it's a good idea if Justice and I go in there. And I'm like, cool, dude. Like, thank you for using your words. I appreciate that. You can stay behind. I'll bring in Isabela because she's always up for something. And so when you go into the Fade, they're like, your party members are like, say if they want to go or not. And Meryl's like, I really want to go. Is that weird to me that I want to go? This is like a lot of fun. And Varric's like, you know what? I'm always up for a good time, and this seems like a good time. And Isabela's like, this sounds awesome. Take me with. I'm going in. And then Meryl and Isabela both got tempted by the demons, and you have to, for me at least, I'm sure it's different from you guys. But like, so Isabela got tempted with a boat, and Meryl with acceptance by the elves. And so they both went. And then after they're done, you go back to their little homes, and they each have little cutscenes where they say, I'm sorry, I was tempted by the demon. Meryl is like truly heartfelt sorry. And she's like, hey, I'm really sorry about that. Isabela has a fantastic cutscene for her apology. It's like a cutscene with Meryl that is absolutely hilarious. And again, not family friendly, but really, really funny. And then Isabela, you have a chance to be like, yeah, and never do it again. They're like, hey, you know what? I get it. It's cool. Like, we've all made mistakes. And she goes, what, really? You're not even going to be mad at me? And then you have a chance to romance her again if you want. But
and then you could smooch her. Then you smooch her, Dano.
I chose not to because I think Meryl is the goal. The goal, that sounds wrong. I think Meryl is the plan. The plan is Meryl. I think for this
Meryl is the hope, the aspiration.
Yeah, I think that's an Act 3
meaning of my
romance
life?
though, but I'm not sure.
The inspiration?
I think it's a.
I took Anders, and who turns into Justice in the Fade.
Oh, cool.
I took Varric, who betrayed me. Who's the first one to betray me because he had a choice. He's like, you could be more get more money than your brother who stole the thing and locked us in the theg. He's like, yeah, I could have done that, and then you had to kill him and the demon that tempted him. That was kind of I felt awful. I had to do it like 3 times because turns out Varric's really good and can murder everyone.
Yeah.
And then I did Aveline, who like it was her husband who showed up, and like I can, if you come with me, we can live. I can live again if you kill Hawk. And she's like, yeah, let's do that. And then I murdered her pretty quickly. So
Who'd you bring with
it was
Stormrage?
fun.
I actually brought Isabela and Meryl, although the first time before my Bethany reset, I brought Isabela and Fenris. And Fenris was offered the power to kill all mages, and he was like, I must do it to avenge myself, and betrayed me. And then I went in and he was like, I'm sorry, I'm sad.
I love that he's like, yes, I think that for myself, I need to murder every mage. That is a bull. I'm not sure you really can apologize. I mean, like, Meryl just wanted acceptance and Isabela wanted her boat. Like, I get that, but like,
Yeah.
murdering it's a lot of people.
Genocide,
Murder
though.
I'm on genocide, by the way. I was like, what the?
To avenge myself, even though I'm still alive. Huh?
So next up was Fool's Gold. This was a fun little quest as well, actually. So Fool's Gold was you are approached by a dwarf saying, hey, a dwarf and his servant, I believe, his elf servant, about how his 3 sons went into the deep roads, like tempted by he's blaming us essentially. So we walk by him and he's like starts yelling at us. My 3 boys went into the deep roads to chase after riches just like you, and it's your fault. And then the elf is like, what are you talking about? Your 3 sons are idiots. And like, it's like, this one's a coward, this one is a sheep, and this one is greedy. And he's like, I know. And then he's like, can you, they're following your story, they're following your path, can you go in and get them out? And so you're like, yeah, sure, I can go back into deep roads. My sister only died there. No big deal. I can go and get your sons out. Sure. So he's like, yeah, they followed your path. So if you follow you'll find them. And so you go down to the deep roads and you first find one of the sons. And he's like, yeah, the greedy brother found some sword. He bought like directions on how to find it by some merchant from Orzammar. And he locked our other brother in here with some dark spawn and then ran off down that road. And you're like, okay, well, so you're given a choice. You can either go after this powerful sword that the one brother took, or you can go and save the other brother. But you're basically assume you cannot do both. So you make a choice. I chose to go and save the brother because, I don't need the sword. Because it's the right thing to do is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
So the brother, and he's like, oh, yeah, thanks. No, he went that way if you want to try to get him, but you probably won't be able to get him in time. And so you go and you find he's already been killed by the Darkspawn, and the Darkspawn, took the sword and everything. So you weren't quick enough, but you get out and save 2 of the 3 brothers, and the dad was like, I wish you could have saved all 3. And the elf is like, what? Yeah, sure, but could you be a little grateful? And then he gave us some gold. So that was the quest. It was kind of fun. It was a good one. Yeah, I liked the quest. And you didn't get the quest, Stormrage?
Nope. It is only triggered if you have certain things happen in Dragon Age Origins.
Oh.
And you have to choose either, I think it has to do with like Nathaniel Howe surviving or dying, depending on the choices there. And there's only one preloaded Origin save that triggers for, and I didn't choose that one.
Cool. Okay. I wonder what the trigger is for that. It probably says in here, right? I wonder what I did to get this triggered.
I have it. I just haven't done it yet.
It's music exclusive with Finding Nathaniel. You cannot get both quests in a single playthrough. Oh. Okay, weird. Oh, bummer. So I don't get to find Nathaniel Howe later? That's disappointing. I'm going to read it on this. That's interesting. I wonder why. Okay. Okay, cool. Matt, you got Raiders on the Cliffs. Tell us about Raiders on the Cliffs.
There's some cliffs. There's raiders on them. You go murder them. You get loot, gold, and a couple items. That's about it, really. It involves the guard, I think, at some point, in some way. But it's really just go find these people and kill them. Quest.
It was a fun little quest. So especially if you bring Aveline along, because Aveline is captain of the guard. So you bring Aveline along, and she's like, Lieutenant so-and-so, what's going on here? And she's like, Captain, I'm so glad you're here. This is my first real mission since being promoted. And she's like, this is a crazy one. These 3 crazy bandit leaders are here that we've been looking for, and they have us pinned down. Can you help us? And then you have like the choice to like inspire the troops and get Aveline to be cool, like better best buds with you, or choose not to. And then there's a bunch of traps that you have to navigate through. If you have Varric or one of the other rogues with you, you can navigate the traps. And then you kill it. It's actually kind of a tough fight as well, because it's a mage and then a pretty good rogue. But yeah, it
is a tough fight.
Yeah.
And also, like, you have to, if you go around, there's a bunch of traps that you can disarm, so, like, flanking them is the right thing to do, but you have to get through traps. I died the first time, and I had to go reload, and I was like, all right, let me play this a little bit smarter.
I died, I had no problem, because one of them mentions the traps, and, like, I don't remember who, one of the, like, NPCs mentioned traps, so I played Varric to go up and then flank them on the right, and disarm the traps. And then I just got, I'm not sure if I was overconfident with like the final boss fight, but I did a wipe there and I had to go back and redo the boss fight just once. But I got through the rest of it. But yeah, it wasn't the easiest fight. The waves are so hard in this game sometimes, because you'll get through the initial push and then there'll be a second or a third or a fourth wave of mobs, and it's like, holy buckets. So sometimes it's not even like the bosses that are the most difficult part. It's like the waves of enemies. It could be overwhelming.
Another one.
And really hard to control. So all of a sudden,
And
like
also,
you have like 4 different fights going on with each of your main characters. It's tough.
And it's like, I hate how they like spawn in behind you too. Like if you're coming like in a room and then like they just spawn in behind you, like I'm mage casting in a corner, literally, like I get up against the wall. All of a sudden there's like 2 guys coming in. I'm like, where'd you come from?
I usually they'll come in from side hallways and stuff. But they do come from all over the place. And if you're in town, you'll see them like dropping from rooftops and stuff. It's super fun.
Yeah.
It's very Mass Effect 2. That was a big thing in Mass Effect 2 as well.
Yeah. Especially, or no, that was the Kai Lang fights that kept on spawning stuff in, right?
Yeah, I don't remember, but there were a couple Mass Effect 2 fights where I was like, stop spawning mobs.
Oh yeah, like when they're coming up through the floor in the elusive man's room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or the ceiling in the elusive man's room. Like, oh, come on.
Yeah. So I have talking about the quest Prime Suspect. So there is a Templar who is like, hey, I know that remember that guy who was doing some murders? I figured out who it is. It is Gascard Dupuis. And Hawk can say, is that really his name? And
he is French. I mean, Arlesian.
And so this is like, yes, I know it's him. I told the guards, and the guards wanted nothing to do with it. They're just complicit in this. And then I brought Aveline with me because I was like, this is gonna be going for Aveline. And she's like, I'm sorry, bro. Like we went and like raided his house, and there was nothing there, and like we got in trouble for it. So like, we did do something. And he's like, oh no. But I have here all this evidence, and all this is like, yeah, all this is like conjecture at best. Like there's nothing really good here. This isn't great. And then he's like, no, it's really good. It's really, yeah, you have to go with me to you have to go and check this guy's house. He's totally a bad guy for sure. Believe me. And we're like, all right, I guess I'll believe you, because the guards won't do anything because the guards already got in trouble, and the Templars won't do anything because you already got in trouble for this. So I guess I'll go now and I'll get in trouble for it, because, why not? And so we go in and we go to the Gascard Dupuis' house, and we walk in and there's a bunch of demons, and we're like, oh, this guy's obviously a bad guy. So you walk in, you kill some demons, you walk around his house, and you find like blood magic stuff, and you find all sorts of like weird spell things. And you're like, oh, okay, this guy is totally a bad dude. and then we get in his house, and we find him in his room, and he has a lady in there, and she's like screaming and yelling, and we walk in like, what in the world are you doing? And he's like, I need her blood to cast a spell to find out who killed my sister. And they're like, I don't know, bud. This is a little fishy. And then she runs off, super scared. He's like, no. I'm a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm just using blood magic to find my sister. At this point, we can be like,
and also,
yeah.
He points out, I'm saving this woman because I know the murderer is going to target her because he always sends white lilies to whoever he's about to kill.
Ooh,
he
I
sent
missed
white
that.
lilies to her. I'm protecting her.
Nice. And so at this point, we can choose to believe him or not believe him. I chose not to believe him because the dude seems super sketch. Matt's nodding, also seemed to not believe him. Stormrage, did you believe him?
I murdered him flat.
I was absolutely down. I was like, you're crazy, but you're right. I do trust that. So let's see where this goes.
Yeah, it was definitely all conjecture but I was like, you know what? Like, my friends seem to be on board with this guy being the bad guy. Like, I disagree. So I'm like, okay, cool, you're the bad guy, whatever. I've made mistakes before. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. What's the worst that could happen? Just one of the murders that happened today. It's fine.
So you get in a fight, he runs away, and you chase him down, get in another fight. None of these are easy fights, by the way. And he uses blood magic on you. It's a total hassle. But eventually you can kill him, or you cannot kill him. Stormrage,
And you could just leave, and it's great. It's really easy.
And then did any of...
Nice.
So after you did, like, the rest of the stuff happen where people kept on dying after that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, after you kill him, then more people keep dying, and you're like, oh, oops.
Yeah. Yeah, I met with the guard. And she's like, yeah, it's totally happening in a back alley somewhere. So we'll go in the back alley, and then like bunch of shades. And he's like, yeah, I don't think it was Dupuis because I killed him. So it must have been somebody else. Good luck.
Oopsies.
Yeah, and then how does this quest even end?
I don't know. Actually, when I ended the quest, like when I was playing in front of you, like, oh, is this the end of the quest?
Yeah, so I think
Like,
you kill him. So if you don't believe him, you kill him, and the quest ends, and it's like, oh, I must be right. Good job, me. And then if you don't kill him, what happens?
No,
Neither way does killing him or not killing him end the quest line. From there, you go then to meet with Emmerich, who another person has replaced him, and is like, Emmerich said you'd meet him here at this time, and you're like, I didn't hear about this. And they're like, you wrote the letter. And you're like, that's weird. I super didn't do that. And you go meet with where he's supposed to be. Emmerich's dead. You kill some shades. Then you see that guard lady again. And you can either be like, I killed Dupuis, so it's someone else. Or you can answer, I don't think it's Dupuis because there are other things going on. And then that'll end the quest.
Yeah. Yeah, the guard lady with the terrible bowl haircut. Yeah,
It's not the best haircut.
No.
Next up, we played Inside Job.
I really did think she was going to say red rum.
So if you remember from Act 1, we are 50-50 partners in owning a mine. It is a very not at all scary mine called the Bone Pit. Totally normal mine where terrible things keep happening. But they're not there yet. So we have this, we own this mine, and our partner's like, hey, I found this evil, awful Ferelden. He says he knows you, and, you know, we keep on getting attacked. Our mine, and I figured it out why our caravans are getting attacked. It's this Ferelden traitor. You need to go and get details from him. So he brings it into our house, and we like good cop, bad cop him with like the two owners of the mine. And so we're like, hey, you're a traitor. And he's like, yeah, I'm a traitor. And so at this point, you can choose to either like say, hey, you know what? You know why he did this? He did this because you kind of suck, dude. So maybe like letting him go will make people not, you know, dislike you quite so much. And then they will stop trying to steal from you. And he'll be like, oh, cool. Or you can be like, hey, coterie lady from the crime family, just go ahead and take care of this guy while you go and protect the caravan. That's also an option. So I chose to have him survive. I assume Matt and Stormrage did the same.
I haven't done this one
Also
yet.
correct, yes.
Oh, okay. Matt hadn't picked this one yet. But yeah, so we find out where the caravan's going to be attacked. We get there too late to save our guards, but we do get to kill the people who were attacking the caravan. One of the coterie ladies, she's like, hey, I know this guy. This guy works for the coterie. And you're like, wait, what? We're paying you to make sure this doesn't happen. And she's like, yeah, you are. And you're like paid up. So this shouldn't be happening. I'm going to go figure out what's going on and I'll let you know. And so then we go and we meet her where she tells us to meet her, and oopsie, she's dead now too. So it turns out the guy who wasn't like living up to his part of the bargain and was still attacking our caravans, even though we were paying them not to attack us, was doing it. So we go and we kill the guy. The guy was named Brecker. And so we go kill Brecker. And then that's the end of taking care of that. Stormrage, tell us about the best parts
eat his
of this
Brecker
week.
fist.
Breakfast, indeed.
Brecker Fist, very good, sheep. The very exciting quest to end is the Bone Pit. The boss that you just checked in with is like, hey, people are complaining about stuff. Go check it out. You've got to touch with them. So you go and they're like, there's a big spider. You go kill the big spider. And then they're like, thank you. And then you come back and they're like, hey, there's a bunch of undead. And you're like, okay, you go kill it. And they're like, thank you. And then you leave and you come back and they're like, our pickaxes don't work. And you go, okay, can I kill it? And they're like, no. You need to go to this merchant. We've already made the deal. Our boss just won't pay for them. And you go, okay. You go to the merchant and you're like, can I get a discount because I'm buying in bulk? And he says, no. And you're like, okay, here's money. Quest complete.
The first two quests, it was okay. The first one was you walk in and you kill a bunch of spiders. One spider was super big, very fun. Loved that. And the second one, like, so I love it's an allegory for climate change. It's like, after it's like, maybe we should stop like opening up new tunnels. Cause like every time we open up a new tunnel, something bad happens. And it's like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't be strip mining.
Weird.
Yeah, but there's gold in there.
I love it. It's so good. There is a really cool, like if you go all the way to the right on the map, there is a cave that's just labeled cave. And if you walk in, there is a book, and it's like a blood magic book, and you have an option to put it down, read it, or keep it. It's super cool little discovery thing that's worth kind of going and finding.
I had that happen in the big church in the town.
Yeah, there's like 5 of them in the game or something like that. Yeah, where you can kind of run into these things. They're super cool. But yeah, I love the Bone Pit quest because it's very much like you're just out there like helping your people. It's cool. I love it. I think it's fun. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Taste my grilled cheese.
Managing, indeed. And they call you Hero too, which is so much fun. It's like, hey, thanks, Hero.
Much.
I waited this time, so is it going to get smaller?
Yeah, all right. That's a fair deal. That's a fair deal.
All right. Font got smaller, everybody. This is a good goof. It's a super good goof.
It went from 66 to 65.
I noticed that. Thank you for that, Stormward. I didn't notice that it got slightly smaller.
Yep.
I got the first good, and the first good is after you kill the spider, the guy who's in charge of like the workers there is like, all right, everyone, back to work. And dibs on the spider fangs. I'm going to make a necklace for my wife. That was so good. The second time after you kill the undead, he goes, all right, everyone, back to work. Last one in has to burn the corpses. It's so good. They're just so little funny. I just love them.
The NPCs in this greater game are just like the environmental NPCs are the best.
They're really, really funny. What's our not so good, sheep?
Our not so good is EA's quote unquote services. Cause like 3 of the 4 of us have had pretty significant issues playing this game.
Yep.
And it's a game we should just be able to, like, download and play. Like, I'm not using any mods, like, nothing like that. And yeah, that is a not so good in my book.
Yeah, I feel like we caused the problems with Daniel in Origins. It was like we like very much Icarus, like with the mods, and it was like we flew too close to the sun and our wings melted. And
I mean,
so then Storm Rage's game never started up again. This time the game just chooses not to play. It won't even load. And it's a known issue, and there are a million videos and how-tos on how to fix the many, many problems that may or may not fix it. This is a known issue, and EA is just like, we're not doing anything about it. That's your fault for not playing FIFA and buying a bunch of like microtransactions. If you did that, you wouldn't have any problems. That's presumably what EA says.
I assume so. I will note that if anybody else is also experiencing this issue, the only thing that fixed the first one for me, I have no idea what happened to Sheep's save file, but the connectivity was flushing my DNS, which is a thing I didn't know how to do. And I actually I figured it out, not because of any of the forums on Dragon Age 2, but because I was also having connectivity issues with Marvel Rivals, and I googled how to fix that for Marvel Rivals, and they gave me this solution, and I was like, I wonder, and it fixed it for Dragon Age. So consider flushing your DNS, and maybe it'll work if you're having the same issue.
I would definitely do that before you do what I did, which was pay $30 for the game again. That's what I did.
Yeah.
And that also worked. So cool. Thanks, EA. I have the super not so good. Storm Rage did a bad job of talking about the quest pick up pickaxes, which we had to go to a smith. And the smith is named Smith, which again is funny. So it's like, hey, Smith. He's like, yeah. And you're like, is Smith your name or your profession? He's like, yes. And he has the Wade, like it's Wade from Dragon Age Origins, like the funny like Smith, who is like all about like crafting crazy things for you. It's like it's his art style, it's his face, it's everything about Wade, but that it's not Wade. Why isn't it just Wade? Why not just bring him into the game? You could have brought both him and his shop owner in, and like this shop, it could have accomplished the same thing of stealing 15 gold from the player because you've given too much money to them. So you have this gold sink. It could have been a great callback to Origins and Awakening, and they completely missed it for a Smith joke. Like, what? Like, there's so many other great Easter eggs all over this game. How did they miss bringing Wade back? So disappointed. Like, it was his model and everything. It was definitely Wade's model. It was so disappointing. It's incredibly disappointing. And it wasn't as like some deep Smith voice. I'm Smith. No, it's both. I'm like, oh, what? What are you doing? It was definitely the worst part of this game for sure. No offense, sheep.
None taken.
I don't remember that character at all.
You don't? Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right.
You probably, because you didn't play. It was in the end game. You would go and you could take the dragon scales and the dragon armor to Wade's armory, and he would craft different end game armor for you with the dragon armor. But you didn't get to play that because EA is awful. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So again, call back to EA just being awful. Yeah. But yeah, so he's great. And he's also in Awakening as well. He owns the Smith in Awakening, and then you get to go and he crafts a bunch of like crazy like armor and swords and stuff for you that you don't really use because it's just it's an expansion, so you don't really need any of it. But it's there if you want it. So, and he's still a funny character. He's a kooky little guy. And so he's a fun character in the game. So that was disappointing. What's our best good though, Storm Rage?
Our best good is that sometimes if you have enough time on your hands, you can go back and fix a mistake you made. And Bethany is much happier in the circle than she was as a Grey Warden.
Interesting that she's happier in the circle than as a Grey Warden. Right? Because as a Grey Warden, at least you have like freedom essentially. Because it's not like she's at like a normal circle either. She's at like the worst circle to be in.
Yeah, that's what I thought originally, and then her letter was real sad, and it was basically like, I'm in the deep roads killing Darkspawn 24/7, and life sucks. And that is very different than the Grey Warden we played, which could kind of go anywhere and do whatever they wanted, as long as they also helped kill Darkspawn. And it seems like she is a Grey Warden that is in the Deep Roads, killing Darkspawn for the rest of her life.
Yeah, Anders didn't like it either, to be fair, so maybe we just had like a pretty sweet... Maybe when you're like one of 2 Grey Wardens left in a country, it's like there's a lot more freedom given to you than if you're just like a regular, Grey Warden soldier. So that makes sense.
He asks each traveler 3 questions. 3 questions. 3, that's a magic number.
I will ask myself 3 questions.
Matt, what are you liking so far?
I'm loving my romance with what's
Fenris?
his name? Fenris.
Fenris?
Yes.
Just deep in love, I can
he's
tell.
very he's very emo. He's very sad boy. He has a lot of unresolved anger, but he hates mages, but he likes my mage. So but he's also like, we also get in fight. We also like, he yells at me a lot and like storms off, and then he comes back and is like, I'm sorry. It's super funny. It's like, it's like, I'm looking to see how this develops, because like you're rivals, so like you're like literally like yet like can't believe you sided with the mages again. I'm a mage, deal. It's fun. It's very enjoyable. Storm Rage, what do you like?
Sounds toxic, Matt. It sounds toxic, if I'm being honest with you.
Yep. A little bit.
But he's such a cute emo boy with tattoos.
Yeah, I get it.
They were forcibly put onto his body.
I mean, he can rip out someone's heart, and he can reach into someone's chest and stop their heart. Come on.
Literally.
Yeah.
And figuratively.
I am liking how early on it's like, hey, romance, here you go. Because it's like right at the beginning of Act 2, it kind of locks you into some romance things. And I gotta see the romance scene with Isabela. And pretty tastefully done. I was kind of surprised. There was 0 nudity in the making calling a stork scene, and it was all just like the build up and then the after when everybody was fully clothed the entire time. But it was also unbelievably hot, and that is a fun dance to have between those 2 things, and I thought it was just really well done.
That's fun.
Sheep, what are you liking so far?
I am really enjoying watching, listening, and talking about this game being played by my friends and Let's Plays online. It's been fun to experience in that way, and I hope that I can jump back in soon.
I have a really good
also
Let's
hope this-
Play recording. I'll also send it to you. She does a really good job of doing them. She's really like, I'll send it to you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Dano, what are you liking so far, buddy?
I love hanging out with my pals in game. This is very much a hanging out with pals game. It's very Mass Effect 2, where it's like, there's no story necessary because you have buds. It's I essentially learned that Mass Effect 2 is just Dragon Age 2 in space, which, you know what, is awesome.
I mean, there's something wrong with that.
Kind of awesome. But yeah, there hasn't been, like, put a solid 6 hours into the game this week. And I mean, to be fair, we did not do the only actual big story thing they asked us to do. We just chose not to do it yet. But there was no story. Yep. Like, it was just like hanging out with pals and doing some favors, which, was a lot of fun.
Murdering some murderers. It's fine.
God, sometimes you have to murder some murderers. Matt, what are you struggling with?
So nobody told me, and the game doesn't tell me. There are more slots on the screen than I thought for your taskbar actions. It goes to 0, and then there's like a bunch of space, and I just drag something over there on accident, and I realize there's a ton of space.
It shows you because there's the stamina, lyrium, and health potions on the far right, so you know.
No, they don't put them. I had to put them there myself.
No, they're automatic.
No, they're there.
Yep.
Oh, are they?
They don't look like a potion. So the far right, it just looks red and yellow or red and blue. If
I thought
you're a
those were my
mage.
hit points and like magic.
No, those are potions,
No.
Matt.
Those are potions.
Oh,
It just doesn't look like a potion.
Well, that makes me feel really dumb.
How are you using potions and grenades and poisons?
Yeah, like I just drag into my inventory, like throw them at 0 when I need them. I just pause it and go to inventory.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah,
Although,
it is.
Let's
and
not say that we should feel bad about not using grenades and poisons, because I don't think I've touched either.
I
of
get to
those
use a
things.
grenade or a poison because like I didn't, who's one, like but like using a health potion mid battle, it's like okay, sometimes I have to like slide it on their taskbar while I'm paused.
There's a res
feels
grenade.
awful.
Have you guys found that yet?
No.
What?
Yes, there's it's an
that.
AOE too. So if your pals die close together, you can res them both or more at once. It costs 2 gold, but worth it.
It's worth it. Yeah.
Where?
I think you find it on the Storm Coast. I think.
Okay.
I think it's where I found it. It's called like Michel's something or other. I can tell you what it is. But yeah,
Okay.
it's a res and it is helpful and worth the 2 gold. But yeah, there's also like so like the different potions you can get, you start with just a regular health potion that's 80%, and then you get a health potion that does both health and stamina and lyrium. So it does 80% health and 40% stamina and lyrium. And then some of the grenades are great. Like they'll stun or do pretty massive damage. And they'll do like a 100% chance to stun for like 10 seconds in a pretty decent AoE size. So definitely
really
worth
good.
taking a look at some of them. And some of the poisons are really good as well. So
I should.
Stunningly good.
Yeah. I should.
and they last a
investigate.
while too. Like the last there's one potion that you can use that for 20 minutes if you die it will res you with 40% health.
Anyway,
So.
Storm Rage. What are you struggling with?
I sometimes forget how things are connected between Act 1 and Act 2 when we take breaks in between. And so there are a couple times where it was like, I'm Emmerich. And I'm like, yes, that is a name. Okay. And it'll be like, we talked about this 3 years ago. And I was like, yes, we did.
To be fair, that's exactly how I would approach anything like that too.
Yeah, it does feel almost a little too true to real life.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sheep, what are you struggling with?
I'm struggling with playing the game. How about you, Dana? What are you struggling with?
I need more time to play. So this is a game that is like you can really kind of just like play it rather slowly, and like you want to engage with everything. You want to talk to NPCs. You want to be going to your companions' houses even when not prompted to, because things happen. Like you'll find quests if you like go this place or that place, or you'll find like those secret locations, or you'll find like different potions, or you'll find like resources you need to craft those potions. And all of those are found by kind of just interacting with the space around the game. Like, so going and just like talking to different NPCs or going off the beaten path a little bit. And so you really are rewarded by like kind of exploring, not like exploring like, a giant open world, but like just, taking an extra 5 minutes out of your day to go see if anything is happening over in, the whatever building you want to go to, the gallows. You go to the gallows and start talking to people if anything happens. You get rewarded by doing that in this game, which is super cool. But like, because I've been really busy, I didn't get to do that this week. It was more like trying to like rush through the content to get there. And so it felt a little bit less fun because I didn't get to just kind of like really like savor the world. Matt, what surprised you about the game?
What surprised me? How easy it is to respec once I figure out where I can buy those potions. It's only like a gold, so it's like literally a nominal fee. It's like nothing. And then like it's like just so much fun just to poke around and like try different things out and like get in a fight and be like, oh, this doesn't work. Yeah, I'm loving what I can do with Force Mage with like crowd control and stuff like that. I just need to find a good thing to pair with it, and I think it might just be Elemental. Beast Spirit. I don't know. I might play around with that a little more. Storm Rage, what surprised you about the thing?
What
the
are
game
you
we're playing?
surprised by? Good question, Matt. I love how cool and easy respecking is, because it's just like going through being like, oh, okay, well, I'll just go ahead and change this and try this out again, and then, ooh, I'm going to try this out again, ooh, I'm going to try this out again. So far, I've only kind of flipped between the dual-wielding rogue and then my shadow archer, but I'm probably going to respec again back into dual-wielding rogue, just because I like having Varric in my party, and it doesn't feel great to have two archers in the party at the same time. So I'll probably respec yet again and try out new abilities, and it's super easy and pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sheep, what has surprised you about the game?
To the surprise of probably no one else, how hard EA makes it to play their games is what surprised me. Like,
Is it making money
now? I mean, I paid $30 for the game, so yeah, it made them at least that much money. But like, I heard Storm Rage about, for the last one, but I thought maybe that was just the mods, and like my computer's, a gaming computer, it can probably handle it, and I mean my computer can handle it, but EA can't handle letting me play the game, so that was surprising. That was shock and awe.
And the worst part about it, when it doesn't work, it says 500 error. Hey, this is an us problem. Check back later. And it's like, I can't, because it's going to keep on doing this. You're aware this is a you problem. You acknowledge this is a you problem. You refuse to do anything about this you problem. It's very frustrating.
It's like going to a store and the store owner has the doors locked. And he's like, come back later. And you're like, are you going to open the store? No. Okay. So coming back later would do, come back later, try again. Okay. Okay.
Oh, also hilariously, I forgot my password whenever, towards the beginning of stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, click on the forgotten password. Just doesn't go anywhere. You have to like go to EA's forgotten password and go through that whole thing. The forgotten password link within Dragon Age 2 also does not work. So fun fact there.
It is a fun fact.
But also Mass Effect 3 is coming soon. It's out now.
That is
Soon.
Shocking. It's so it does have a scroll at the bottom of the Dragon Age 2 login that says Mass Effect 3 is coming soon. It's like, I am certain you guys could have removed this at any point between when Mass Effect 3, not the like remaster, like the original Mass Effect 3 released, and now. You just chose not to take the 10 minutes out of your day to remove that scroll at any point.
It's so frustrating, like especially with games like this and Origins, where it's like game preservation is just not a thing, and it needs to be a game thing for these particular games to allow people to play these games in the future. Well, I understand you're not going to make any money on it, like it doesn't feed the shareholder machine at all. But like, come on, like just allow these to be playable in a state.
Well, it's not this. There's no servers or anymore with these. So there used to be like this Dragon Age online tool where you would go and upload all that is gone now. There is no support around Dragon Age anymore. So it's just you downloading the game and playing it. Is all that should be necessary.
Yeah.
That's all that should be.
I shouldn't have to log into my EA account.
There should be nothing else required for me to. I should be able to just download the game, double click dragonage.exe, play game. There should be nothing in the middle there. There should be no reason for you to be involved, EA. Why are you involved?
Yep.
What is the point here? You don't need to be involved.
Why do I need to log into my Origins account? Why do I need to log into an EA account to play this game? Why?
Because.
What is the point?
So they can pump ads to you to buy more FIFA cards. That's why. Because if you're not logging into your EA account, how will you know that Sims 3 has new cosmetics to buy?
I mean, they could tell me
how
FIFA
could I not?
25 or F or whatever the name of the FIFA
FUT
football. game is like coming out. But just update the launcher to tell me that FIFA 25 is coming out or whatever.
Oh, it's not FIFA. It's EA, right? It's what is it? FC? Is it just FC now?
FC 25.
Yeah, it's FC.
Yeah, or like F126 when it comes out. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
So clearly was surprising to a lot of folks. But Dano, what surprised you in particular about this game?
So many fun like pals and buds in this game. The first time I played through it, I kind of stuck with Varric and Meryl and my brother and or sister, and didn't really play with anybody else. And this time I am like playing with everybody, and they're all kind of great. It really is a lot of fun. There aren't any like clunker characters. It's very much Mass Effect 2 again, where it's like, I just love all of you. And Hawk is also just an amazing protagonist, like one of the most fun protagonists. Like how much fun Hawk is pretty crazy. Like a ton of personality. The snark line is almost always the correct option because it is
100%
really good. And then there are uses for like all of the different dialogue options. Sometimes you just use the aggressive one. It's not about being evil, it's about being aggressive. And sometimes being aggressive is correct. And that was super cool. And it's super well written and well done, where it's not like, ooh, you're either good, you're funny, or you're evil, is what a lot of these RPGs kind of give you the option of. And in this one, like at different times they can be right. And sometimes you're like, your friends will like call you out, like you'll make a joke and they'll be like, not the time, Hawk. And it's kind of great.
What, I'll pay her.
Oh, gosh.
You want to buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
All right, time to sell the game to a friend. I'm going to start off with Fantasy Odd Jobs, the game. Storm Rage.
Side quests. They're a thing. And also the bone pit should be totally fine by now, right?
Oh, yeah, for
right, totally. Matt.
Find your friends. They give you things to do. Because they're great.
And Sheep.
Playing the game looks like a blast.
It's so much fun, Sheep. I'm so sad for you. I'm legitimately sad for you. All right, next week we are heading into the Brazilian forest. It's going to be a little bit longer, so you probably want to get started a little earlier in the week than normal. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks to all our patrons for patronizing us. You can find links to our Discord and our contact information in the description of this podcast.
And Dragon Age 2 is a game, and games are supposed to be fun.
Burma.
Yeah! Keep exploring that bone pit, baby!
Because it's a pit with bones in it.
Well, and you have to keep on exploring it for different like bad things keep on happening. So you have to keep on.
I mean, you know, there was a pit with a bunch of bones, and there was a rabbit in it in the movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
And Monty Python's Flying Circus is what the Burma is a reference to. So full circle.
Gotcha. I was very confused and wanted clarification on that. So I'm glad that you brought it up.
I never wanted clarification on it. I wanted it to be Sheep's little secret that they could keep to their grave, and no one understood it.
I'm so sorry, Daniel, for ruining the illusion.
I like that the title this week is going to be A Living Wage for Children, and that will trigger people.
I sure hope not.
I hope it does trigger them, because if it doesn't, then that's like says more about them than it would otherwise, right?
If I can't pay them $7 an hour, I don't want to pay them at all.
Hey, minimum wage is $7.25.
Oh, my bad. It was $7.25 when I was waiting tables in
same.
the late 90s.
But when I worked in a movie theater in the late 90s, it was $7.25.
Did you guys ever work service on a server minimum wage?
I did, yeah.
It's like
Two and a
it's like
quarter,
$2
whatever
an
it
hour,
was.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
For like a
$2 an
summer.
hour.
Yep. Yep.
Still is that in Idaho, in case
No.
you're wondering.
Still is that, I think, everywhere.
It's still
No. Very few places still have server minimum wage or tip
Oh yeah, they
minimum
do.
wage.
In here they do.
No, most places have a real, or at the very least, a tip minimum wage is like closer. I think there are like 5 states that have a $2 tipped minimum wage at this
Woof.
point.
Oh, Michigan is $4.74.
Oh,
See?
wow, that's
See?
definitely
Big money.
livable. You
Big
can
money.
live
That's
off
more than
that.
2.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And
Yeah.
standard minimum wage is $12.48 here in Michigan. But
Yeah, that is still better.
Something like
$7.25 federal minimum, baby.
that. Oh, what a treat. I'm glad I tipped well when we visited.
yeah,
Yes.
I just smashed that 20% button and everything now.
I hit
It's just
25%
like-
on everything. It's like, I guess
Yeah.
I have to pay you since your employer won't.
Yep.
Yep.
All
yep.
right, that's going to be it for this week. No After Dork because we're recording late on a Monday. So thanks everyone for
school.
listening. And we'll talk at you again next
Right.
week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.